and welcome back to the Wrestling and another edition of Smackdown Out 10. And a big show today because we're just 24 hours away from Night of Champions. This week's show coming from London, and it was headlined by Cody Rhodes addressing Gunther and Sami Zayn ahead of their undisputed world title match. So without further ado, let's get straight into the show. And less than a day before they do battle for the US Championship at Night of Champions, Trick Williams, Absolute Ricky Saints met in the Squared Circle as part of the night's opening promo segment. Saints tried to snap Williams out of the fun-loving mood, and he was in end to remind him of the threat to the US title. When that did not work, he resorted to physicality, delivering a cheap shot to Lil Yachty, then sliding back into the ring to level the champ. There's little substance to this one, outside of Saints trying to change a turn of the programme to reflect the seriousness of competing for gold. Unfortunately, he's not being built to that point. He's a really believable opponent to dethrone Williams on Saturday, which undoubtedly hurts the match. And our first match on this week's show was Alexa Bliss and Tiffany Stratton versus B-Fab and Mitchin, and it was Women's US Champion Tiffany Stratton renewed rivalry with Jade Cargill, who wrote his latest chapter here. The Storm interjected herself in the tag match and pitted her cronies against Stratton's team. The match itself was fine, although a formulated tag match we have seen countless times, but as the fans and investors, the crowd loved Stratton and was hot down the stretch after she received the hot tag. Cargill interfered, cost Stratton the match, then laid the both face out to build further heat for the upcoming match. We've seen countless angles like this before. It worked based on reaction. If only they did not replicate the same one later on. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. We then got the AAA Cruiserweight Championship match between Ray Fenix and Penta. Take two fast-paced, high-flying babyfaces, put them in a ring together and let them tear the house down. It's a tried and true formula, and one WWE worked to perfection in this match. A good competitive athletic matchup that highlighted talents of both men, ended with Fraser getting too cutesy with his offence and Phoenix scouting it, catching him in the corner and delivering the Mexican muscle buster for the victory. Will it have any measurable long-term effect on the show? Probably not, but a 3-hour broadcast devoting time to a good match involving respective performers is always a good way to eat some of it up. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. As we then moved on to after Solo Sikoa getting involved and helping him win his match with Jimmy on Raw, LA Knight showed up looking for answers. Sikoa defended his actions, admitting his hate for his family and the bloodline. More surprisingly, he attempted to forge a partnership with Knight to help battle Roman Reigns, the Usos and Jacob Fatu, but the megastar rejected. After all, how many times does he have to watch family members turn on Reigns' rule? Knight vowed to remain by himself and his battle with the bloodline to the dismay of Sikoa. But yeah, an intriguing segment there. Before we then got Paige returning home to London in front of her fans and family members, squaring off with fatal influences JC Jane. And yeah, she dominated the hometown hero, but a stale second appearance from Brie Bella allowed Paige to roll Jane up for the win. The match was fine, nothing more or less, and it set the stage for Jane, Laney, Reed and or Fallon Henry to challenge for the tag titles eventually. Paige looks solid here and is still getting her working legs under her as she benefits from increased TV appearances. The question is why WWE has suddenly become okay with booking JC Jane to lose. Her and Fatal Influence really kind of arrived on the scene, but their momentum has kind of stalled a bit, which shouldn't be happening. So yeah, 5 out of 10. As we then moved on to Danhausen and Matt Cardona versus Los Garza, who believe the face-painted babyface owed the money following New York Knicks winning the NBA Finals, in a match resulting from a backstage segment. A straightforward match that was never really about 3 or 4 competitors involved. It was all a showcase for Danhausen and zombified Miz and Kit Wilson's shtick. There's no means a bad thing, but it has been one of the most reliable and entertaining parts of the show. It's inoffensive, did not overstay its welcome, and highlights the character that has been all over mainstream TV and social media due to his connection with the Knicks. He should be everywhere, deservedly so. 5 out of 10. We then got Chelsea Green versus Jade Cargill, with Cargill challenging for a title again at the weekend. There was never going to be a chance Green was going to win here, but that didn't stop her from trying all the way until the Storm put her down with Jade for the pinfall win. This match was what it was, a glorified squash building up Cargill with a post-match that saw the number 1 contender to the US title getting over on Stratton by leaving her lying. It was a repetitive booking calling, a glaring example of lack of creativity outside of the box thinking that exists within WWE at its worst. Worst of all, it essentially surrogates the outcome of Saturday's match, as WWE is unlikely to book Stratton in a losing scenario 3 times. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. As we then moved on to Julia and Kiana Jace, who brought their rivalry to its conclusion when the Beautiful Madness dispatched of her former business associate in a good match. James, as she's done repeatedly this year, rose to the occasion, never looked out overwhelmed or out of place sharing the ring with her. Julia, conversely, is a woefully underused and mismanaged superstar in the making, and that should be further along with it is. With that said, she earned a big win, only to be jumped by Blake Monroe, making her first SmackDown appearance. A good match, a big debut, and hopefully the start of a quality push for Julia to make this one of the most complete complete segments on the show. As we then moved on to their final opportunity to hype their match on Saturday night, Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn and Gunther staking a claim to the title, also featuring King of the Ring finalists Obafemi and Jey Uso. The entire thing started with an in-ring promo before descending into chaos, with all involved getting physical. The image of Femi standing on the ring apron, staring down Cody and enjoying their world title is a great one. That gives the world a brief taste of potential showdown that will happen sooner rather than later and reignites the unfinished business topic, shouted out by Michael Cole on commentary. The two previously squared off in December at Saturday night's main event. Uso was his obnoxious best. Rose was the straight man, but it was ultimately Gunther who brought the intensity, as he was not already physically overwhelming Styles in this match. The triple threat will be fantastic, and while the Uso Femi match should be fun, the segment was not quite that though, and it had a lot of repetition with themes, lines and whatnot from previous weeks. Overall, SmackDown this week gets a 5 out of 10 for me. This was another 3-hour marathon that did not stay interesting for its duration, but had plenty going to pique interest. The build-up to Night of Champions was excellent. The sudden emergence of Solo as a potentially sympathetic figure, great mic work from LA Knight, and a show closer that highlighted a tremendous gap of talent ahead of Saturday's matches definitely helped elevate the show. That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.